Good morning. Thanks for coming. Adam Adams, EPA On-Scene Coordinator, Federal Oversight on the Response Effort. Progress has continued to move forward aggressively on the tank farm as well as on the water recovery operations. Very good progress on both counts over the last 24 hours. In the community, the air monitoring has continued consistently with the aspect aircraft overhead flights. In the downwind, the EPA Togabus trace atmospheric gas analyzer in the downwind community, and then the ground troops with handheld instruments monitoring the air in the downwind. Currently the winds are out of the southeast. Over the next 24 hours, the wind's going to shift and it's going to start coming from the north. In preparation for that, we set up our air monitoring stations teams. They go downwind in advance so that when the wind shifts, we have that area covered. In the early morning this morning, we did have one detection of benzene above 1 part per million. The concentration was 2.0 parts per million in the San Jacinto port area. It was not sustained. We got the detection, it dissipated. We sent confirmation, we notified local government incident command, unified command, down to local governments to make the decision what's required, action to take, shelter in place or evacuation. We sent a confirmation team to double check the numbers, and there were no detections when they went over. So the communication process, it worked. We got the hit, we disseminated it down, and it wasn't sustained. So that was like we wanted it to be, the communication process. EPA has a website, or let me talk about wildlife first. Wildlife. So the one bird that was in rehab did not make it. A third bird was observed in the impacted area already deceased. A second turtle, or second red-eared slider, was observed deceased in the impact area. And there was an additional 8 fish in the immediate impacted area as well, all deceased. As far as so EPA has a website. It's response.epa.gov/ITC tank fire. You should check it out today. That's where we put our public information. Any sample results, any air monitoring results. There's maps that show exactly where the aspect aircraft flies every day, exactly where the Togabus drives every day, exactly where water sample results are taken by EPA. When you scroll down to the bottom of the page, there's an image, and you can click on that image, and it brings up another page, and it kind of scrolls through, kind of telling the story of the response actions. There's photos that show what's being done on the water. There's photos that show the aspect aircraft. There's photos that show the Togabus. And then there's also a map at the end of that one that shows where the EPA water samples are collected. So that's from the first day. As the response began, so the EPA began collecting water samples on March the 20th. That was Wednesday. That's when it was safe enough to get to those locations after the fire and collect those samples. As the response has progressed, we've had access to further locations for additional sampling. So just because on March the 20th, there may only be 4 locations in the critical downstream area, as of today, there's quite a few more locations on the map. I mean, you won't see them, but as we update the information, they'll be on the map. As soon as I get the final data today, the water sample results will be posted on that website. You can go there and you can download that table of data and see exactly what the numbers are. Preliminary numbers are exactly consistent with what we expected. They're consistent with petrochemical industry release of product. So you'll see volatile organic compounds, just like we expected. We continue to work close with our state, county, other federal agencies, the Coast Guard, our local response organizations on this response. Communication and teamwork has been key, and it's been successful, and we're going to continue to do that. And we appreciate our counterparts very much. Thanks for getting this information out.
Gracias, Adam. Voy a comenzar un poco con la información positiva, que es el sitio web que ha habilitado la Agencia de Protección Ambiental, que es response.epa.gov/ITC Tank 5. En ese sitio la Agencia de Protección al Ambiente está poniendo todos los reportes que se han hecho sobre las mediciones de agua, del aire también, están ahí puestas, y al final del día habrá nuevos resultados que también por supuesto serán posteados. El pájaro que se había reportado que estaba siendo tratado falleció, murió el pájaro, y hay otro pájaro que está siendo sometido a rehabilitación también. Habrá cambio en la dirección del viento, actualmente desde el sureste, y va a cambiar hacia el rumbo norte, y ya hay equipos preparados para este cambio en la dirección del viento y poder realizar los monitoreos convenientes.
Good morning, I'm Captain Kevin Odit, the Coast Guard Incident Commander, supporting EPA as the lead federal on-scene coordinator. We made great progress yesterday with respect to the vessel traffic transiting the impacted area. They were able to move 23 ships, which is slightly over 50% of the normal traffic, and they're able to move 113 towboats, which is approximately 50% of the normal traffic. Of those vessels, 4 ships and one of the tow vessels were required to go and be decontaminated. The vessel queue for tomorrow right now is at 49 ships inbound and 18 ships outbound. We continue to attack cleanup operations all across the impacted area, and yesterday we were able to, or last night, excuse me, we were able to recover 4,800 barrels of oil for a total yesterday of 14,000 barrels of oil. Additionally, we're in the Santa Ana Bayou area, we're able to deploy additional boom, and we continue to monitor that area, and the rapid assessment teams will be out there today to assess any potential impact. We are also working hard today in order to open up Carpenter's Bayou and Old River. Those bayous remain closed. Those waterways have over 100 barges, and it's critical that we get those open and allow them to trade and continue to carry their cargo to their customers. So that's critical for us today to be able to get those waterways open. Thank you.
Les voy a comentar los barcos que entraron ayer, 49, salieron 18. Ayer se recuperaron 4.800 barriles de combustible de la zona del canal. En total se han recuperado aproximadamente 14.000 barriles de combustible. Se están trabajando todavía para limpiar algunas de las zonas, entre ellas Carpenter's Bayou, y algunos de los barcos que han entrado o salido del canal, que han estado pasando por esta agua, han tenido que ser enviados a un proceso de descontaminación, pero eso se ha realizado de acuerdo a cómo debe realizarse.
O sea, mencionaba hace un momento el señor de EPA sobre la detección de benceno, que una mañana, ¿nos puedes hablar de eso?
Sí, esta mañana hubo una detección de benceno de 2.0 por partículas por millar. Se realizó un monitoreo posterior y la lectura fue normal, por eso se considera que la situación está normal en este momento.
No hay riesgo entonces de evacuación ni nada.
No hay riesgo hasta este momento.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. My name is Anthony Buck. I'm with the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, Emergency Management. TCQ personnel continues to work around the clock to provide support to the Unified Command and local government officials. As Adam said, we had a benzene hit from one of our field teams, and the process worked. But upon hearing that we did have a team hit last night, and I checked our continuous air monitors, as I always do when I got in this morning, and we were able to find it of the 4 locations surrounding that area that we had nothing above our actionable limits of 180 parts per billion. TCQ is continuing to take water samples around the ship's channel and in Galveston Bay. The results so far are as expected, reflecting the same type of chemicals that were in the damaged storage containers from the incident. And again, there are no drinking water intakes in the affected area. We're also overseeing the cleanup overall, and we also have some of our agency staff reviewing ITC's plans to handle waste materials. TCQ will continue to post information as air monitoring and water quality data becomes available. The public can view the latest results on both air and water side on our website. We also have a ITC fire page off the TCQ website, and that's at tcq.texas.gov. Thank you.
Bueno, lo escucharon, la calidad del agua está bien, no hay ningún problema, y creo que es importante decir que TCQ está revisando el plan de ITC para el manejo de estos materiales que están siendo sacados de los tanques y siendo transportados a otras áreas más seguras.
Hey, good morning everyone. Brent Weber of ITC and Incident Command. We made good progress yesterday. You know, we've been focused on product removal. Yesterday we were able to complete the product transfer from tanks 80-13. We also began product removal from tanks 80-2 and 80-3. We concentrated heavily on remediation of the ditches, and we continue to work with our U.S. Coast Guard and EPA partners to continue the remediation in the waterways, focus really on Tucker Bayou as far as ITC goes, and the rest of the waterways in the ship channel. Today we continue with the same focus. We're trying to get more and more product out of that tank farm. We are transferring tanks 80-11, and we have targeted tanks 80-5 and 80-6 for today's period. We'll continue to recover product that's collected in the tank farm containment area, and we will continue once again to focus on the ditches and remediation of our waterways. And I will stress, our aim is always to do all of these objectives without impacting our community and emphasizing the safety of our responders. Thank you.
Bueno, se siguen las maniobras de recuperación del producto. Ya el tanque 83 está seguro, se ha sacado el producto de ahí. Está por empezar el proceso en el tanque 5 y tanque número 6. El tanque 11 también está el proceso de sacado del producto de ese tanque. También de la zona del parque de tanques se está sacando todo lo que está ahí, todo el material también de las zanjas que están en la zona de los parques se está sacando, se están limpiando todo, y se está por supuesto llevando el material a tanques seguros para poder ser transportado y tratado de la manera apropiada.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Is there any way you can disclose the company that owned the chemicals in the tank fire? And have you notified them that the chemicals are destroyed or contaminated at this point?
So ITC is a storage terminal only, so out of respect for our customers' confidentiality, we do not release that information. But yes, the customers of that product have been notified, and we have been in constant contact with all of our customers at ITC.
Commissioner Adrian Garcia mentioned now that he was offering the help and support since the beginning of the fire, even though the president of the company didn't accept the support. What is your comment about it?
So we have one focus, and that's really to resolve the issue as fast as we can. I assure you there are no shortage of resources here to help us resolve the issue. All of our governmental agencies have brought in multiple resources. My CEO has ensured that we have all the resources we need.